Welcome back to the Minto Report, and it's another fraud by immigrants. But is it robbing the state or taking candy from a baby? A U.S. attorney in Massachusetts recently stepped up to the podium to announce a major bust. Two individuals, both from Haiti, one a naturalized citizen, and the other, we can all guess, a legal immigrant, are accused of running a massive fraud ring. They target the SNAP program, otherwise called food stamp. The amount over 7 million. Let's get into some clips, but do remember you can subscribe to this channel, it's free. To do so help out your boy in this channel.
Good afternoon. Today we are announcing federal charges against two men, Antonio Bonner and Saul Elisme, for large-scale SNAP benefit trafficking, a scheme that turned a program designed to feed families into a multi-million-dollar criminal enterprise. SNAP benefits are also known as food stamps. The defendants are charged with one count of food stamp fraud. As alleged in the charging document,
this comes right on the heels of the massive Feeding Our Future scandal in Minnesota involving millions diverted from hungry children, where many of the accused were of Somali descent. Tonight we ask the uncomfortable questions. Are these immigrants the blatant fraudsters the government claims they are? Or are they taking candy from a baby? And in this case, is the US government the baby? But before we answer that, let's get back into some more clips.
These men abused one of the government's most critical safety net programs for their own financial gain. This is taxpayer money meant to keep people from going hungry. These defendants decided to take it for themselves. These defendants exchanged SNAP benefits for cash, which they pocketed. Bonner, a naturalized U.S. citizen from Haiti, owned the Jesuela variety store. Elisme,
let's hear some more.
A permanent resident, also from Haiti, owned the Saul Mache Mixe store. These two businesses were co-located within a single storefront in Boston. To be certain, these were not supermarkets. They were not full-service groceries. It would be a huge stretch to even call them convenience stores. In fact, the only thing convenient about these stores was how easy it was to commit SNAP benefit fraud.
Let's look at the baby, our government. During the Minnesota case, the Feeding Our Future program claimed that 20 million children, American children, go to bed with only one meal a day, the one they got from school. Now do the math. There are fewer than 70 million American children. That means more than 30% of American children would be starving. Alarming, amazing. Not even in developing or third world nations do you see a 40% starvation rate. Yet the government swallowed those numbers without a second thought. They were willing to throw money at anyone who claimed they were feeding the future.
To put this in perspective, the Jesuela variety store is less than 150 square feet in size, smaller than some bathrooms. The Saul Mache Mixe store was approximately 500 square feet in space. By contrast, a supermarket can be 20,000 to 60,000 square feet in size, have a dozen or more registers, and employ numerous employees. Both the Jesuela variety and Saul Mache Mixe stores had one register.
Sounds eerie, just like Feeding Our Future program in Minnesota, where two of the same businesses who were feeding the children They were running from this or operating from the same address. Just like these two businesses in Boston, allegedly.
Register, no carriages, no hand baskets, and very little food for sale. One legitimate supermarket in the same area as these stores redeems approximately $80,000 in SNAP benefits per month. Over the last 20 months, the Jesuela Variety Store was redeeming between 3 and 6 times that amount monthly, with nowhere near the space, inventory, customers, or infrastructure to support it.
When the government leaves the door wide open with no rational strings attached, it is a crime, or is it an inevitability? If you leave a bowl of candy on the porch with a sign that says, "Take one," but no one is watching, don't be surprised when the entire bowl goes missing. Now let us look at the Massachusetts case. This wasn't a high-tech hoist. This was a hole-in-the-wall store. It had light traffic and empty shelves. The federal government, prompted by a Trump era, to push to investigate SNAP fraud, noticed something strange. Large, bustling supermarket, usually averaging about 84,000 a month in SNAP transactions. This tiny shop holding the wall, doing volume that put those large supermarkets to shame.
The Sal Mache Mixe store redeemed over $120,000 in SNAP benefits in the last 6 months. Simply put, there is no plausible way SNAP eligible food could have been purchased from these stores for this long. Yet, these two stores are alleged to have illicitly trafficked nearly $7 million in SNAP benefits. The fraud was shocking and glaring.
Let's hear some more.
Investigators found that both stores had exceptionally large and highly anomalous SNAP redemption volumes, far beyond what is remotely possible for businesses of their size, type, and location. Since March of 2024, the Jesuela Variety Store had monthly SNAP redemptions that consistently exceeded $100,000.
Remember, this is a store with empty shelves selling $100,000 per month, allegedly.
In the previous 20 months, the monthly SNAP redemptions were between $200,000 and $300,000 a month. In one of those months, the redemptions exceeded $500,000. Investigators' suspicions of fraudulent activity were confirmed on the ground. During the course of this investigation, undercover officers used EBT cards to traffic SNAP benefits for cash at both the Jesuela Variety Store and the Sal Mache Mixe store.
The scheme was simple. A recipient walk with a SNAP card, allegedly. The store charges the card for $120. The store gives the person $100 in cash and keeps $20 as a transaction fee. No groceries ever leave the store, allegedly.
The defendants themselves were working the cash registers, and both exchanged SNAP benefits for cash with the undercover officers. Observations made by the undercovers showed that it was just as easy for anyone with an EBT card to walk into either store and convert hundreds of dollars in SNAP benefits into cash, all tax-free. The defendants even sold liquor in exchange for SNAP benefits, an outright violation of federal law.
And guess what? The allegedly liquor was bootlegged.
And perhaps most disturbing, both stores sold donated food products known as Manipacks. These are meals manufactured by the nonprofit Feed My Starving Children, which are paid for entirely by charitable donations and are intended to be shipped directly to food insecure children overseas, including children in Haiti. These products are not for sale anywhere. Yet Bonner and Elise May are selling them in their stores for.
To add insult to injury, these two gentlemen allegedly sell in their store food that was donated to the very poor in Haiti and food that was not meant to be sold in the United States. They were allegedly selling them in their stores. Here is the kicker. The state of Massachusetts originally refused to let the Fed see the SNAP recipient list, citing privacy. The feds had to rely on pure statistic to catch this.
Millions in SNAP benefits through his store, Bonner fraudulently obtained his own EBT card. The court documents indicate that between 2022 and the present, he cashed himself out for over $10,000 in SNAP benefits. In 2025, all of those redemptions were through the Josuela Variety Store. It appears that the Massachusetts Department of Transitional Assistance conducted virtually no diligence when reviewing his application.
But this is the most disgusting part of the indictment. One of the accused involved who should not have been eligible for benefits since he is a business owner allegedly applied for and was granted his own SNAP card. Think about that. The very system he is accused of defrauding is the same system that handed him a card he wasn't supposed to have. We remember, we are the world. We remember singing for the hungry in Africa. Now we are told the hungry is here, and the solution is to flood the streets with billions in untracked electronic benefits. Are these two men in Massachusetts predator, or are they just the ones who noticed the baby was asleep at the wheel? If the government operates on made-up strings instead of reality-based oversight, can we really be surprised when the candy is taken? This is Minto, and this is the Minto Report.